10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition, liftoff. Go Starlink to the Falcon, Space Force at Canaveral launch.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
We are T plus 45 seconds into liftoff, and we have just had liftoff of our Falcon 9 vehicle carrying our Starlink payload. In just about 15 seconds from now, we will be passing through max Q. This is the largest aerodynamic pressure that the vehicle will see throughout ascent. And we've got an awesome view of liftoff right now.
Vehicle is passing through maximum dynamic pressure.
And we just heard that call out for passing through max Q. Now coming up in about a minute will be a rapid succession of events, main engine cutoff, or what we call MECO, followed immediately by stage separation and SES1, which is second engine start. Now MECO is where we shut down that main engine on the first stage booster to allow the vehicle to slow down just enough to separate from second stage. If you're just now joining us, we have an awesome onboard view of our vehicle, Falcon 9. And in about 30 seconds will be those three events: MECO, main engine cutoff, stage separation, and SES1. And there is MECO, as you saw those engines shut down.
Stage separation confirmed.
And there is stage separation and second engine start. You can see that second engine on your right screen glowing bright red. Now in about 20 seconds we will have fairing deploy. And we should be able to see this on our screen as well. And on that left screen there, you can see the grid fins. It's a bit dark on the East Coast right now, so hard to see, but we did see those grid fins deploy.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And there is fairing deploy. So as Lauren mentioned earlier, we will be attempting to catch one of the fairing halves on our recovery vessel, Miss Tree, but we will not be able to show this live, so check in with our social media for updates.
Acquisition of signal, Bermuda.
That is beautiful. Now there are a series of events coming up with both stage 1 and stage 2 before we reach our parking orbit and enter that first coast phase. The first is the stage 1 entry burn. That is when stage 1 is re-entering the Earth's upper atmosphere. It will reignite 3 of its Merlin 1D engines in order to slow the vehicle down as it re-enters so that it doesn't break apart, because we want to land it. That burn's going to last for just under 20 seconds or so, and at that point, the burn will end. You'll hear the call-out entry burn shut down. A couple minutes after that, we will see our stage 1 landing burn. That is where we will reignite one engine, E9. It's that one right in the middle. And it's going to burn for just over 20 seconds and hopefully leave stage 1 standing up nice and tall on that drone ship. But at the very
Second
same
stage on
time,
nominal trajectory.
as you just heard, second stage is on a nominal trajectory. That's really good news. And speaking of second stage, right as the drone ship lands, you should hear the call out for SECO 1. That's where we shut down the second stage engine to enter that coast phase. So far, stage 2's trajectory continues to be nominal. Stage 1 has also drifted up to its highest altitude and is now beginning its descent. That's that image over to the left. It's dark outside. Oh, dark in space. Right, in about 10 seconds, you should see that entry burn start on your
Stage
left
1
side.
FTS is saved.
Stage 1, entry burn startup.
All right.
Stage 1, entry burn shutdown.
And we just had a good shutdown of that entry burn. Meanwhile, the second stage continues at full power with over 200,000 pounds of thrust.
Stage 2 following nominal trajectory.
All right, looks like we lost signal, but that's fine. We should be acquiring it again soon. Now, as stage 2 continues to burn, taking those Starlink satellites to their first parking orbit. Stage 1 is coasting down, steering its way using those grid fins down to the drone ship. At about T plus 8 minutes and 3 seconds, right around there, you're going to see that landing burn start.
Stage 1, entry transonic.
Oh, and as you just heard, we've just gone transonic on stage 1 as it's making its way back down to the drone ship. So the atmosphere is actually what's slowing the vehicle down, stage 1, as it's now re-entering the Earth's atmosphere and coming down to the thicker parts. That's what slows the vehicle down.
Stage 1, landing burn startup.
All right. You can see that light on the left. Stage 1
Stage 2
making
is
its
under
way.
terminal guidance.
Stage 1, landing leg
All right.
deploy.
And yes, we have another landing. This is the 4th landing of this vehicle and the 48th Falcon 9 first stage landing to date. This is awesome. We got video the whole time. That was cool. All right, stage 2 is
Stage
still
2
doing work.
FTS is saved.
SECO should be coming up any moment.
SECO.
And we may have lost video, but we've heard confirmation of SECO.
Cape OS expected.
And let's listen to see if we're in a good
GNC
orbit.
confirms good insertion accuracy.
All right, and GNC has confirmed good orbital insertion. Now with that, we're about to enter a coast phase, so we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be leaving you with this cool animation that lets you visualize where Falcon and the Starlink satellites are on orbit. We'll be back at about T plus 44 minutes for a second stage relight, followed by another coast
Newfoundland
period and
acquisition
then
of signal.
deployment of the Starlink 60 satellites.
welcome back to the webcast for Starlink. So far, we've had a on-time liftoff of our Falcon 9 vehicle. Our first stage made its way back and landed for its fourth time on, of course, I Still Love You. And second stage is on its nominal trajectory right now. Coming up next, we have SES-2, followed immediately by SECO-2, which is second engine cutoff. Now, this will be one of the shortest burns of the Merlin vacuum engine that we do. The burn is short because we don't need a big adjustment in the orbit, but a little bit will go a long way here. Now, that's coming up here in about 30 seconds. And we've got a live view of the second stage engine there, and we're only burning for just 1 second, so it may not look like much, but it will be lasting 1 second. And there was our quick SES-2 followed by SECO-2. Now we're just waiting to confirm good orbit.
GNC confirms good insertion accuracy.
And we just got that call out for good orbit. So now that we are in good orbit, we'll be coasting for the next 15 minutes or so. So we'll be back around T plus 1 hour and 1 minute for payload deploy.
Welcome back to the webcast for Starlink. We are getting ready for payload deploy. Now, the 60 Starlink satellites are flatly stacked on top of Falcon 9 for efficiency, so all 60 satellites are going to be released all at once. It's going to look a bit different from other separation sequences you've seen, aside from Starlink, of course. But once released from Falcon 9, the satellites will slowly disperse. They might even bump into each other, which is totally okay. They were designed with this in mind. We are currently less than a minute away from deployment, so let's wait till we get that acquisition of signal and watch it live.
Tension rods released and payload deploy confirmed.
All right, you just heard the call out. Let's wait till we get that video again. There we go. That's all 60 of those Starlink satellites on their merry way. It's a beautiful sight. Just to give you guys an update on the fairing, we didn't catch it this time. We got really close, but we're going to keep on trying again and give you more updates as that continues. And with that, that brings our webcast to a close. Thank you to the 45th Space Wing for range safety today, to the FAA for licensing today's launch, and a thank you to the FCC for licensing operation of these satellites.
We'd also like to thank all of our viewers for tuning in. Follow our website and social media platforms for updates on our next missions and milestones. Thanks for joining us for the first launch of 2020. And until next time, have a Happy New Year.